Silence.
This is me. Yeah, thank you. Right, who do we have here? Serbia?
Here.
Are you all?
Yes.
Okay, Romania.
We're here.
Are you all?
Yes.
Okay. Macedonia. Are you all?
No, they're coming.
Okay. Romania. Oh. Okay, and Polish. Team. Here. Okay.
To je samo
Naša integracija u Europskoj uniji se neće.
I haven't
Dobar
These are the papers we were using yesterday for lies and truths. I will give you those right now if you need any notes to make, so please take one and pass. Okay, so it's already like 6 minutes after the time. Our guest is waiting, so we are not going to wait anymore for the people. If they're joining, they're joining. If not, we'll see. So we are starting right now. Please pay attention. Be like, the thing is, when the questions are going to appear from the side of our guest, then we need to somehow speak it louder, or people who are here need to repeat, okay? Because the mic is only in the computer, so people from there are not going to hear. Okay, so możemy zaczynać.
So możemy zaczynać. Dobrze, bardzo dziękuję. So hello, and finally I can say that aloud that I can welcome you to House of Europe only on my computer, but we are in half normal situation in European point of info point in Wrocław because of the pandemic. We did work from home for a while, but now we are here in the office in that day. So hello and welcome. I'm Rafał Kis, and today I will talk with you about European Union. And today I would like to talk with you really. So please speak loud to that little microphone on your laptop here in the class, because the first thing I would like to say is a question for you. What is the European Union? A group of European states acting in the common interest, or a group of countries around the world acting in the common interest? And please just say it from the class if you know an answer. I think that's a good warm-up question, so it shouldn't be difficult for you.
The first one.
First one, yes, of course. A group of European states acting in the common interest, and here we can close European Union in that regional organization. Yes, so it's very important that we are acting in that regional area. And it's only in Europe, yes. So it's very important, of course. Okay, so the next question for you is maybe more difficult because you don't have answer to choose. Please define European Union in your own words. How could you define that organization, that regional organization? How many countries we've got in that group of states? How many languages, maybe official languages? What do you know about European Union, class?
What about?
And I know that you do know something, maybe those numbers.
27
How many
countries.
countries we have? Sorry?
27.
27, yes. So that's the first very important information. Others?
What else? How many languages? There was also a question, how many languages we speak in the European Union?
22.
You are close, but it's not 22.
24.
24, yes, 24 official languages we've got in European Union. And what is European Union for you? What you can gain because we are in European Union, at least now, yes, being in Zakopane, if I remember well. What do you have because we are European Union?
What signs you can see what the European Union causes, how it is visible for you, how you understand this European Union?
Well, I guess it's easier for the countries or the people of the countries in the European Union to travel between the countries of
Yeah.
European Union. So there is a benefit for the people of those nations. So I guess it's allyship, if I can say it like that, of countries that share, as you said, common interest, and it's beneficial for the people in many ways. Regarding trade, regarding traveling between the countries, regarding the education. Wow, that would be my answer.
Thank you. And it's very important that what you just said, because in your words, mine definition, which is a bit shorter, can be also visible, because the European Union, in that short version, short definition, is the unique partnership. It's very important that it's a unique partnership. It's not something what we can build everywhere in the world, around the world, and make it functional like this. It's a partnership, economic and political, between those 27 European countries, because one of them why it's not possible worldwide, because for example, we've got something we can name a copy of the European Union in Africa, and one of them very important rules that countries can prove when they accessing the European Union is that freedom of speech for every person in that country, democracy in general, and those values. Yes, it's very important that we can build something like this, because we've got those background that background in Europe. Yes, and on other continents it's more difficult because history, I guess, um, and geopolitical situation, of course. Okay, so key facts: Europe is one of the 7 continents. In Europe, we've got over 700 million inhabitants. In Europe, we've got also 46 countries, and in European Union, as we said, we've got 27 member states and 446 million inhabitants. And it's after Brexit, of course. Yes, it's also very important. And what is the European Union? I would like to show you a short video also and maybe make it more clear.
Beginning, what is the EU? It has a council and a parliament that appoint and approve someone to head something that looks similar to a government. It passes laws and applies those equally across the EU, and those are overseen by something similar to a Supreme Court. The EU has a flag, a currency, and citizenship. But does this mean that the EU is a country? After all, it has many of the same things you'd expect to see in a standard country. Well, no, and it can't do some of the things that other countries can. The EU can't levy taxes, and there's no common budget across its member states. There's no EU treasurer, and its member states are largely still sovereign. It also isn't an international organisation like the UN. The EU has assumed more power over its member states than the UN. For example, the EU legislates for member states. This is why it's hard to say definitely what the EU is, because there hasn't been anything like it before. What the EU is depends on who you're asking. A Eurosceptic will have a very different answer than a federalist. And that's why the EU is unique.
Yes, it is unique indeed. Okay, a bit of history on this slide I would like to present. It's very important when and why it all started. In 1951, it all started it all started from coal and steel community. Everything was the needs of the Europe in those days were to build better and stronger after World War II economy in Europe, and that's why that partnership and once again European coal and steel community. And in 1951, 6 countries: Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands made that. After that, after many treaties and acts during that time, and later next countries apply to access to that partnership, European partnership. And very important information for you is that United Kingdom joined in 1973 because some people think that, for example, the argument that they give that argument that European Union is weak and it's falling apart because creators are going away, like United Kingdom, and it's not true because United Kingdom was not the creator of the European Commonwealth. Yes, so please remember that. That's the one of the most important information on this slide, and another is that in 2004 we had that the biggest accession in European Union, and it's called Big Bang. Big Bang, 10 countries from Estonia to Slovakia on the continent, and Malta and Cyprus on the sea. Yes, so we've got those 10 countries here. The last country is Croatia, of course. In 2013 we've got the last accession. Okay. 1 second, please. Przepraszam. Tak. So. EU symbols. I would like to mention about the European Union symbols also, because we've got our national symbols, yes, and that's the question for you. Can you describe any European Union symbols?
Euro.
Euro currency, yes, of course.
The flag.
The flag, yeah.
Flag, of course, yes. We've got something we can sing.
Anthem.
Anthem, of course. Okay, so we've got Ode to Joy, of course, yes. We've got Euro currency, flag, those main three. And also we've got the 9th of May, is a day of Europe, Europe Day, yes. We are celebrating that start, the beginning in all the Europe, and the motto of the European Union, and it's very important, united in diversity, because we are all different, but we are acting in the in our interest to make our lives better, more comfortable, and to help. Not only when we've got a trouble, yes, but also when other countries near us, our neighbors, are in trouble, like that situation, that war on Ukraine, yes. So it's very important, united in diversity, the motto. Not many people know about this this symbol, really. So please remember that. We've got Eurozone, 19 countries in here, and I'm looking on the clock, so we've got to be a bit faster, and I will pass that. That question for you. Schengen area also, you mentioned that we are traveling without border control, of course, yes. And please remember that Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Romania, and Ireland are absent from the Schengen area. And for non-EU countries belong to the Schengen area, and it's Iceland, Norway, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. It's very important also because we are all traveling, yes. So it's good to remember that. Okay, that's the map of the Schengen zone. We've got 27 countries in here, yes. But as I mentioned, a few of EU countries are absent, and a few of non-EU countries are in. So we are making that area better to move, easier to move, yes. And please remember that it's not only opening inside, but making our borders more safe, yes, so safer. And it's also one of the reasons why Schengen area was created. So not only making that border control inside of the European Union, inside of the Schengen area disappear, but also strengthen the borders of the Schengen zone. Okay, 24 official languages we mentioned, and next we've got our main topic of the institutions of the European Union, and here we can see the breakdown of all the EU institutions. The division is into popular and less popular, not important and more important. Please remember that. And first of all, we've got European Council Summit. One of the most important takes of that summit is annexing legal acts, coordinating economic policy, concluding international agreements, approving budget, EU budget also, and concluding that foreign and security policy. And please remember that European Council is not the Council of Europe. The two different, there are two different organizations. In fact, the European Council is an institution of the international organization, and the Council of Europe is an international organization itself. And interesting fact related to both, to become a member of the EU, a country must first be a member of the Council of Europe. Yes, so that's a fun fact of all of that. Organizations as an institution mess. Okay. Coming back to European Council Summit, at least 4 times a year they meet. European Council Summit lays down general guidance for the activities of the Union, and the chairman is Charles Michel, and it's that gentleman in the middle. Okay, European Commission is a common interest of the EU. We can say 27 commissioners, one of the each EU country. I'd like to say that European Commission is that arm of the European Union, because it is that executive body. It is a guardian of the treaties, and it represents EU on the international stage. It's very important because there is what represent and where. So those are those main activities, and also European Commission drawing up a budget, implementing the EU law, and for example, concluding trade and accession negotiations. Yes, so if the country is in that process of accession, the negotiations are between the country and the European Commission. Yes, so so that we've got the boss, the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, in the middle right here. Okay, quick look of the European Commission personal experience and gender balance info graphic. We've got many people which were in that in their countries, very important people, members of the European Parliament, commissioners, ex-commissioners are also in that European Commission, and for example, we've got 12 women and 15 men. Yes, here. So it's also that. European Parliament debates the acts of the European law and adopts them together with the Council of the EU. Supervises other EU institutions such the Commission. It's very important. Also, debates of the EU budget and adopts it together with the Council and the European Union. And the 705 MEP here, it means member of the European Parliament. Yes, it's a short version, members of the European Parliament. So we've got 705 right now, and a quick video about the European Parliament I got here for you.
What is the European Parliament and what does it do?
Debate, decision-making, democratic oversight. Parliament's actions directly affect the lives of some 450 million Europeans. Of the main EU institutions, it's the only one that's directly elected by you. Members of the European Parliament, MEPs, work closely with the Commission, the EU's executive branch, and the Council, which brings together governments from the 27 EU countries.
So who sits in the European Parliament?
Your representatives, the 705 members of the European Parliament. MEPs are organised not by nationality but by political affiliation. There are 7 political groupings plus independent members.
How are members of the European Parliament elected?
In direct elections by Europeans like you. MEPs serve a 5-year term. Elections are organised by the member states by secret ballot and take place during the same period all over the EU. The number of seats for each country depends on its population. Germany has the most, with 96. EU elections give Europeans a voice on the big issues, from climate change to the economy, social policy to security.
What powers does the European Parliament have?
Together with the Council, Parliament can pass, amend or reject legislation drawn up by the Commission. It can't propose its own laws, but it can call on the Commission to draft them. Another big responsibility, approving and controlling the EU's 7-year budget. Parliament's role is also supervisory, offering democratic oversight of EU institutions. MEPs elect the President of the Commission and vet and approve new commissioners.
I believe I didn't mention that European Parliament also appoints the Ombudsman, European Ombudsman, and awards the Schuman Prize, for example. Yes, so we've got many functions in that institution, and that's why it's one of the most popular. Also because you. Maybe you now or you in the future will choose people to be in that parliament. Yes, so it's also close to people. Okay. The Council of the European Union, the voice of the member states. We've got 1 minister for each country and presidency, 6 months presidency. And another very important institution, the councils are general ministers of foreign affairs meet there, and they are also, we called it industry councils. They are 10 of them, and they concern that individual state politics. For example, transport, economy, education. For example, we've got also ecological matters. Yes, they touch those things, and this is that institution. This is the institution that we are talking about when we mention the EU presidency, because we like to say that in European Union we've got a presidency. In fact, we've got that presidency in the Council of the European Union, not in European Union. Yes, so please remember that. The presidency is about work in the Council of the European Union, and it's now carried out by France. The second presidency in that year, because it's half the year always, will be carried out by Czech Republic. The functioning of all of those laws and decisions are very important and please remember that smooth implementation of politics from that institutions are shared between the member states, not the European Union institutions. Yes, it's also once again very important. Okay. Then we've got the High Representative for Foreign Policy and Security. Joseph Borrell is head of that institution, and we've got dual role here. He chairs meetings of the Foreign Affairs Council, and he's the Vice President of the European Commission, because European Commission is taking care of that representative of on international meetings, yes, with other countries and organizations. High Representative managed the common foreign and security policy, and he's ahead of the European External Action Service, very important service. Okay, next we got the Court of Justice, which is upholding the law. We've got 27 independent judges, one of each European Union country, and the Court of Justice, it's about to the interpretation of the EU law, and it ensures the uniform application of the EU law in all European Union countries. Yes, so it's those main functions. Other key institutions are here. We've got the European Court of Auditors, 27 independent members. We've got European Central Bank, the head of the European Central Bank. We've got here, and European Central Bank provides that price stability, controls the money supply, and sets the interest rates, very important roles. The European Ombudsman also, I mentioned that Emily O'Reilly is a European Ombudsman now, and it's very important that anyone in the European Union can make a complaint if they are in some areas of their workplace, for example, discriminate. Yes, so anyone can make two others, and the last ones, institutions, we've got the European Economic and Social Committee. We can say that it's the voice of the civil society, and the Committee of the Regions, voice of the government, of the local government, I'm sorry. And that's it. Those main institutions are European Parliament, the voice of the citizens, the European Council, the voice of the member states, and the European Commission, works of the common interest. And those are the three main institutions and the most important, and we can hear about them a lot. Okay. Now, shortly, how EU law is made. I know that it's a much bigger process, but in short version, we've got citizens, interest groups, experts, discussion, and making consultations. We've got a commission with a formal request, Parliament, and the Council of the European Union, which can make joint decisions, and then national and local authorities making implementation in their countries, and in the end, Commission and the Court of Justice are monitoring that implementation. That's why we've got Court of Justice and European Commission very often in the TV because when we talk about, for example, breaking the law in the European Union, yes, so that's why. Okay, we'll pass the climate change goals and that video also. Okay, short question for you. Which countries were the founding countries of the European Union? Belgium, France, United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany, and Italy. Belgium, France, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany, and Italy.
Second one.
Second one, yes, of course. Second one because we've got United Kingdom who did join the European Union, of course. How many official languages they are in the European Union? 24, of course. And what's the name of the first European Economic Community, the predecessor of the European Union?
Second one.
European Coal and Steel Community, of course. And in the end, how many countries are in the area? 19, of course. For the as a closure, I would like to show you a short video about.
We have an issue hearing you properly.
Sorry.
For some reason we do not hear you properly.
Okay, so the last video for you.
Want to see a trick?
This is my trick!
My trick? And this is my trick. What's your trick?
Okay, thank you for your attention, for your voice in our talks, and have a nice day. If you've got any questions, I can answer them if you are interested in some cases.
Any questions? Anything you would like to know more about the European Union, European Association?
Actually, I do have one question.
Okay, so we have one question.
Why those countries, Cyprus, Romania, and Bulgaria, and Croatia, are not in Schengen area?
In Schengen area. Okay. So first of all, we've got those cases we call opt-out, and some countries can make decision that they don't want to be involved in parts of the integration in European Union. For example, we've got Schengen zone, Eurozone, and I don't know, also others elements of the integration. Yes, for example, economic. So if we are a country like let's give you an example of Denmark. It's a good example, like Denmark, and we don't want to be involved in that Eurozone. situation, integration. We just put the card opt-out case, yes, and we are out of that part of the integration. In the Schengen area, we've got quite more difficult case, because some of the countries don't want to be in Schengen area at all, and some of the countries are trying to be there, and they are not yet. Poland, for example, in the beginning of the road in the European Union after 2002 was not in the Schengen area since the European Union accession. It happened after. Yes, so it's a process. Some of the countries have made some changes to become the Schengen zone members. So I hope that I answer fully your question, and also that euro case is very interesting, in my opinion, opt-out cases.
Thank you.
Any others?
Yes. Do you think there is a realistic prospect of Serbia joining the European Union in the next decade? I'm being generous with that here.
That's a good question. I don't know if I think that we should in all of those accession countries group. Yes, in all of that group, we should observe and read those official documents, and observe those meetings, those talks that are held between the European Commission and the countries. And after that, we could maybe in the few years make a sum up of those.
No.
No, the process is difficult, and it is long. So the countries and the citizens should be prepared for that. Simply.
Thank you.
Any others?
So I have two questions. I actually didn't understand what's your involvement with EU, not what are your qualifications, but what's your deal with EU? And the second one is.
So why is he talking about?
Yes,
EU?
yes. I just didn't understand who is he related to this topic. And the second one is, do you think, because there is a talk about EU closing the acceptance of commissions, or not commissions, acceptance into the EU. So the Croatia would be a last one. Do you think that's the case?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the first question. Firstly, can you repeat it?
Generalnie pytanie brzmi, dlaczego pan mówi o Unii Europejskiej, na czym polega pana zawód, dlaczego tutaj pan jest i z nami rozmawia, jakie są relacje?
I thought about it, but okay. Yes, I'm working in the info point in Wrocław. That point, because it's not an institution. Yes, I like to call it that it's a child of the European Commission, because my boss is the head of the regional representative of the European Commission in Wrocław. And we, as a point, we've got the job to make those European Union lessons, and other meetings to inform people about the about actions of the European Union, and also we are here to help European Commission in their actions locally here in Wrocław, in Wałbrzych, for example, in Gubin now. So we've got publications, we've got knowledge, we've got we've got also those connections and list of people we can ask to help to make European Union closer to citizen. Simply, yes. So, for example, we've got. I will present it for you, but give me a moment. Okay. Okay, I don't know how to turn off this background. Oh, yes, here. I'm here now in that our conference room. So we've got here and a place for people to sit down and listen our lessons, for example. Yes, before the pandemic situation, we had many groups here in our office from the schools from Wrocław and from Poland, who came visit and talk about European Union. Yes, so that's my job and our point. And please repeat once again the second question.
The second question was, is there like there is a talk about Croatia being the last country accepted into the EU? What do you think about that? Like, is there any truth to that?
But Croatia is the last one of accepted to the European Union by now. Yes, if you are
jest taka
talking,
opinia, jest takie przeświadczenie gdzieś krąży,
że to ostatni i że więcej nie będzie.
Że więcej nie będzie, no.
Yes, but in fact, I didn't hear about this. You're first person who mentioned about that situation. It is interesting, but it's not true. I'm concerned about it because European Union will in the future make grow. For sure. Why I'm so concerned about it? Because the talks are between the Turkey, for example, or Ukraine now, Moldova, yes, and other countries on that list. So if we are talking, definitely we will in a good moment, of course, when a country meets those criteria, of course, yes, then we will be bigger. We will be 28, for example, and 29. Of course, I can't give you a date of the accession of the or tell you which country will be next. As I said earlier, we've got to observe it. We've got to listen those talks above our heads, yes, and be patient if we want to see other countries from Europe in European Union.
Thank you.
Any others?
Any more questions?
Maybe what about Ukrainian integration?
we all thought that the accession can be quicker that normally because of the war in the end of February. But as we can see now, the process have to be normal, and there is not any possibility to make it quicker is not possible. So maybe in the future also we've got to observe it.
That's it.
Any others?
So there are no more questions. Thank you very much for the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you and goodbye. Have a nice day once again.
Wait.